Good evening to you. Welcome to the Monday edition of Uctv News. I'm Sunday Gloria Aboch, starting with the Uganda People's Defense Forces that has urged the public to be vigilant following the infiltration of suspected ADF militants into the country with the aim of carrying out an attack. Last year, members of the ADF group under the command of Kamusi and Njovu killed several students of Mpondo Elubiriha Secondary School on June 16th, carried out an attack on traders traveling in a lorry which was burnt, and the death of 2 foreign tourists and their guide in Queen Elizabeth National Park.
Joint intelligence forces have now confirmed that 2 days ago, another group has infiltrated the country with the same mission. This group is suspected to be under the command of a notorious ADF commander, Ahmad Muhammad Hassan, aka Abu Wakas. This man is a Tanzanian-born ADF expert, and he, along with him, has hatched a plan with Muhammad Isa. This is Muhammad Isa, among the commanders who have recently planned to infiltrate and do acts of terrorism in the area. Amigo Kibirige, sometimes known as Simba, this is him. Those who don't know him. Muhammad Lumisa, get you soft copies of these pictures, and Nasa Hamidu Diru. Nasa Hamidu Diru looks like this. So these are the current planners of the current infiltration, and we suspect one of them to be already in the country. Other sister security agencies have been informed, are on alert, and we will continue working together to protect Ugandans as we have always done. It is simply suicidal for these terrorists to continue making terrorism adventures into the country, and the UPDF and the entire sister forces, together with the people, we shall do all possible to annihilate this group. Having hit hard in areas of Commander inside the DRC, ADF has gone on rampage in DRC, killing civilians far away from our joint forces operations areas with the Congolese Army, FARDC. The country should know that we are sharing all plans with our counterparts, including some of the proposals the two heads of state of DRC and Uganda shared on employment of LODUs, or commonly known as vigilantes, to stop the current killings in DRC. The public is therefore informed that ADF still harbors the intention of sending terror groups in Uganda, especially urban areas. Also, they plan to send these cells into places of worship, schools, and public gatherings to cause mayhem, as they attempted to do last time. We call upon the citizens to be vigilant, identify and report any suspicious individuals or packages to avoid being victims of ADF terror as we catch up with this current group.
The Uganda Police Force has issued safety tips to border riders amidst the escalating wave of border robberies and murders across the country. While addressing media at the police headquarters in Naguru today, the police spokesperson Fred Enanga acknowledged the rise in motorcycle robberies and subsequently issued safety measures to contain the situation.
According to police, about 80 criminal cases regarding borders, from which 4 border riders' lost lives have been reported during last week. Enanga attributed most of these cases to the border riders' negligence in their line of duty, like operating during late hours, using isolated remote routes, among others, which exposed them to the lurking perpetrators. It is on this ground that he highlighted on the precautionary measures the riders can undertake as an attempt to curbing the vice.
If you're working at night, you need to be very assertive take time to search the people whom you're transporting, because it helps your life, safeguard your life. It doesn't, it's not an act of shame for you to, if these border riders make it, take a measure of searching people, especially male passengers during the night, because when they put on these jackets, you can't know what is inside the jacket. A person with a hammer can easily insert it at the back. You have not searched him, you're just taking him. So they really need to come out and be bold. There's no shame in it. It is your life that you really need to protect. And then some of them, because of the attractive rates that are given over long distances at night, somebody gives you money to transport him over a distance of 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers. Even a distance of 5 kilometers is too long. They should be doing short distances. And of course in open areas. If they see that a person is taking them in-road, deep into bushy areas and so on, it is their life. They rather stop and not proceed. Installing audible alarms on motorcycles, having tracking devices can also help. Having immobilizing devices installed, whereby if a motorcycle is robbed and you have a device that immobilizes its movement, for instance, having fuse cuts, kill switches and ignitions which prevent a motorcycle from starting unless that hidden switch or button is deactivated.
On the other hand, he informed the public about the ongoing flying squad operations, which have so far seen about 17 phone dealers and repairers arrested and detained in the course of eliminating phone theft in Kampala.
There were a number of dealers who were applying their business at Freeman Building, that is Namirembe Road, Rubaga Division, where 17 suspected phone dealers and phone repairers with suspected stolen phones were rounded up. An assortment of suspected stolen phones were recovered and exhibited. Amongst the suspected phone dealers, we have Edward Kabunga, aged 30, from Kasubi, Muhanji Charles, 25, Kasubi, Mukwano Aaron, 29, from Sajja Alumbwa, Chibuka Zaidi, 27, from Nakwadde, Tumwekwase Augustine, 31, from Buwambo, and others. Also arrested were phone repairers, the ones who actually alter the serial numbers of these phones and come up with the new certifications that are fake. These include Chisegero Clement, 27, Nansana, Kasozi Abdul, 27, Kerezia Zone, Mulindwa, 17, from Naluvule, Cheyago Daniel, 37, from Chitebi, and so on. These individuals are the masterminds who glorify phone thefts because of the ready market that they avail to phone snatchers, muggers, and robbers of all categories.
About the Ndiga clan head murder, Enanga informed the public that the Crime Intelligence Department has raised the cash reward of 10 million to 20 million Uganda shillings for anyone who provides substantial information that can lead to the arrest of the key suspect, Lujabo Satabula.
The Directorate of CID has increased the reward offered for the arrest or credible information that can lead to the arrest of Lujabo Satabula from Uganda shillings 10 million to Uganda shillings 20 million. The sources obtained so far from the public have not yielded fruit. We also want to urge the suspect who is in hiding to turn himself in and defend himself. The longer he stays in hiding, the more guilty and desperate he becomes, and this could lead him into committing other crimes while aiding his escape or hideout. We are extremely confident that we are going to find him. Our teams of crime intelligence and CID, using all available tools.
Joseph Kabale, UCTV News.
Opposition party, the National Economic Empowerment Dialogue NED, has tasked the government to take action against errant moneylenders who continue to confiscate people's national IDs as security for the loan defaulters. The call for action comes at a time when the National Identification Registration Authority is set to commence a renewal and registration exercise. The party national spokesperson Moses Matovu alleges that this illegal act takes place under the watch of the Minister of Finance, which he accuses of owning some of these money lending entities.
As NED, we have come to realize that people are continuing to use their national ID to borrow money. An issue that was banned by Minister of Finance. We have received many people here complaining about the vice. People take their national IDs, actually, and they lose them. And these people who borrow money have no ability, actually, to enforce getting back their IDs. Why? Because the moneylenders are highly connected. They are very powerful. They are very close to some of the powerful government officials. And we have observed that many of the moneylenders around town, actually, across the country, they seem to be coming from one village or parish. That they are coming from my parish, which is called Chitanga. So now we are wondering, is it because our parish has so many people in government? Is it a plan by the government to impoverish Ugandans? Is it a strategy to economically break down the systems? We have so many lingering questions around this. If we have government programs, the PDM, the Mioga, why is it that people are going ahead to borrow small funds like 100, 200, 300,000? Does this speak to the fact that these programs are ineffective? Is it a hoax? Aren't they there? Where are the supervising entities? Where's the Minister of Finance in this, particularly the microfinance sector? Because we know it is illegal to give out money where somebody gives a security in form of a national ID. But it's continuing to take place. And I'm sure with the ISO, the PISOs, the whatever we have, they are aware, the authorities are aware, and they are doing nothing. That's why we are asking, is it a government strategy? And we are wondering what is going to happen when it comes to renewing the national IDs. I know we are supposed to pay a certain amount of money while renewing. That is for those who don't have had them. Somebody has failed to pay 100 or 200,000 to the money lenders to get back the ID. How is that person going to be possible to pay the 100, the 150 to renew the ID? Don't we see this as a stumbling block to the freedoms of Ugandans to participate in the 2026 elections? So with this kind of poverty reigning in our people, we see a danger ahead of us. However, we have got a list of companies that are giving out money to people taking their national IDs. And some individuals who have them. We are about to publish these people. And again, we are going to take them to court because this is illegal. But again, we are calling upon the government entities responsible for enforcing, the police and the ETC, to come out and rescue our people.
The State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Kabyanga Godfrey, has called upon Ugandans to learn how to use smartphones because the government is digitalizing e-services with the provision of internet connectivity to all parts of the country, which will which will in turn aid government efforts of monitoring programs like the Parish Development Model, Emyoga, among others. Honorable Kabyanga made these remarks at the launch of the Lucky People's Association, an NGO providing digital transformation training.
It's really have to be in. Either you learn how to operate a smartphone or you will be without a phone. So now it's not an issue of being young to get into skills. It is an issue of fitting in community. It will be an issue of fitting in what? In the community. Under digital services in our roadmap, government is computerizing all services. There is now e-passport. You are part of e-government. That's the one now. You now have e-passport, e-taxes, e-procurement, e-everything. You can now go to fill forms for passport because you will not even download them. Nobody will give you receive them. When you are applying for a passport, you have to go to get your computer, fill the form, send it electronically. They only invite you for an interview.
First of all, we are going to improve accessibility, and we are also going to improve on affordability. That's why we are expanding the national backbone so that internet can be accessed everywhere in this country. And the experts on the digital world say the more people hook on the internet, the cheaper it will become. And so one of our targets is to ensure internet is everywhere. We now have money to expand our national backbone. We also have money for the last mile to ensure internet reaches every parish in this country, because the Parish Development Model Management Information System works on internet. But we are also aware that if we can reach everywhere and people start using internet, then the rates will drop by themselves. We recently dropped government internet from $70 per megabyte per second to 35. But in the next 5 years, we want to have reached $5 per megabyte per second. So one of the strategies is to expand the network so that more people come on it, and that one we are going to.
So on the point we have been on in this seminar, digital transformation under Uganda People's Association, Uganda Limited, they have told us that we are going digital. And this we can see in various sectors. Even in the church, when it comes to preaching on radio, when one is in America or Germany, we can still give a homilies through YouTube, and that's digital. We can also give it through radio or television, that's digital. Even those who are listening to me now, you didn't stay with me physically, all that is digital. And even we have to use the digital means when it comes to the church, because in a way, if we only stay in one church preaching, or in two churches, we can say maximum of 3 masses or 3 services. Those are roughly 3 churches. But if you talk through YouTube or radio or TV, you address so many people. So that is one aspect in the digital transformation.
I'm here to tell people that digital transformation has come. The world is going digital, and everybody has to embrace digital activities. Like the government of Uganda is saying, we have to go digital. They launched the digital Uganda Digital Roadmap, and that is to go up to around 2028. What is in that roadmap? They want people to embrace so many things. Take an example like Momo Pay. Momo Pay is there. It's very free when we're trying to connect and pay people. Zero charges, but people don't embrace this. People don't even want to know. They think as if this is also theft, all right? Take an example when we talk about revenue. Here they just say, please pay online. But people have smartphones, but they can't think of paying online. He thinks of getting a border, going to the offices and not spending money, that kind of stuff, all right? So, as Lucky People Association, we are there to train people to make sure that they get to know about cyber security, blockchain technology, all right? And then, how can you really come out of poverty? That is in line with embracing these digital activities. Because when you embrace payments online, like this government, like revenue, these other taxes, it also helps the government of Uganda to get more money, by the way, because they have really seen that digital transformation, when people use digital activities, they also earn something. Time is going to come, even churches, even some churches have started, they pay these offertories using digital, they pay them digital. What does that mean? When you pay, of course, they chop something from you, and that goes to the government, that goes to, how digital is actually helping the whole world.
The Uganda Railway Corporation, URC, has implored the public to prioritize safety and respect for designated railway areas. URC also raised alarm over encroachment issues, particularly in areas like Namamve and Chireka, where vendors have encroached upon the safety corridor despite previous agreements to vacate these spaces. The acting managing director of the Uganda Railway Corporation, David Musoke Lubega, has raised concern over the recurring trend of accidents exhibited during the testing phase of the railway line.
The issue is on the safety on the railway corridor. As you are all aware, we have been revamping the stretch from Kampala up to Mukono. And what I can report is the section for Kampala Namave is done, is finished. But we are experiencing a lot of accidents at level crossings, whereby life is lost and property is damaged in terms of accidents. So we are appealing to road users to ensure that they observe those signage or markings where the rail line crosses the road. The other issue is on safety of the newly installed materials, where we are experiencing encroachments. Encroachers are back, they are coming slowly, yet we had agreed that they leave the railway safety corridor because it is very dangerous to settle, to trade or to walk on the main line, on the railway line. So we appeal to the market vendors right from Chireka, from Namave, Chireku, Chireka, who are fond of spreading merchandise on the railway line. Not only that, we are having Ugandans dumping garbage on the railway line. This is very dangerous to our operations. So we request that people stop dumping garbage, especially this is around the Nambole area. We intend to resume our passenger services on the newly refurbished line. And this is the threat to the running and operations of the train. So our appeal is to people to respect the good work which has been done to revamp the railway line, to ensure that we decongest the town of the traffic, and to have a smooth running of the trains. Basically, that is our appeal to fellow Ugandans.
And finally, still from the local scene, the Directorate of Prevention of Trafficking in Persons has called upon the foreign nationals in Uganda to report all cases of human trafficking within their communities of residence through their community leaders. This was disclosed by the Deputy National Coordinator for the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons, Derek Basalirwa Chigenyi, while addressing a weekly press conference here in Naguru at the police headquarters today.
The Directorate for the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons under the Ministry of Internal Affairs has acknowledged a spike in cases of trafficking foreign nationals, especially the Somalis, Ethiopians, Eritreans and South Sudanese from Uganda to Libya under the pretext of seeking employment. According to Chigenyi, most of the trafficked individuals fall victim of organ harvesting and subsequent held hostages, upon which various militias within Libya demand ransom from their families of about 17,000 to 25,000 US dollars. It is upon this that he called upon the foreign nationals community to fasten their vigilance against trafficking in persons by reporting to their association leaders.
These Somali nationals were actually being trafficked to Libya. And the situation that has been depicted from the cases indicate that those victims that are trafficked there are largely taken for organ harvesting. Now, unfortunately, once they end up in Libya, they end up in the deserts in the hands of the different militias that are self-organized. Now, these militias self-control, they run their own business, and they do not stop at this. They take videos of torture of these victims, and they get in touch with the parents of the victims and claim a ransom between 17,000 and 25,000 US dollars to have this victim released. This is how much and how far this can get. What is our call today? We have so many of our brothers and sisters in the country, and also the refugee context, those in the Somali community. There are those of us who are in the Eritrean community, the Ethiopians around Kansanga, Gaba Road. We are calling upon all of you. This vice is happening in your communities and you have kept quiet about it, and yet it is affecting the victims to this extent.
Chigenyi highlighted on the circumstances under which about 14 Burundi nationals were rescued in Gomba district by police.
Recently, we've had quite a number of cases upcoming, and the most recent one being about 14 Burundians. The 14 Burundians who were rescued by the police in Gomba from one perpetrator who was using them on the farm. They happened to rush to the police crying out about non-payment. Now, these 14 Burundians have been in the country since 2nd of November 2023 and were trafficked by two particular individuals, purportedly all in Burundian nationals. One, Ndaisenga Pieri. Ndaisenga Pieri happens to reside in Kampala mainly, but is an agent, a go-between, who links the victims with the perpetrators. And the second person is Serungaya Shaban, who uses these names as a Ugandan, it's alleged, but with information is largely suspected to be a Burundian. Now, Serungaya also purports to work as a livestock dealer and also residing in Nakaseke district in Bukatira village. The two perpetrators are on the run, but police is working tirelessly to apprehend them.
In the same vein, Chigenyi sounded a warning to the Airtel Telecom company and Ugandans in general who are fond of assisting foreign nationals in obtaining Airtel SIM cards registered under Ugandan national identities.
This is quite disturbing, even in the security context, because you can imagine how non-Ugandans happen to have Airtel lines they are using, yet they are in the names of Ugandans. This is really, really dangerous for us and a call to us Ugandans, for sure. And those agents that register SIM cards, this is a very, very careless sign of how they do register persons for SIM cards, because we expect that you need to put face to the ID that is being submitted, not to just register for the sake of making the money.
Joseph Kabali, Uctv.
You're watching Uctv News. Let's take a look at today in history. Thank you so much. We are now going to take a break. Uctv News returns with the Rome reports.
Uctv, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience and success.
You can manage dirty money
with a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
You are watching Uctv, good news for all. For this and more, tune in to Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Toboka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the Request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a no car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773 597 166 or visit our website www.kasesegatradio.com. Kasesegat Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
Uctv, good news for all.
And that's all we had time for you this evening. Do stay tuned. I'm Sunday Gloria Borch. Uctv News returns tomorrow, same time, same place.